All right, we are still reading in chapter 5, and we are going to pick up where we left off in the last video. This is when Dr. Zimmer is telling the Twitchell family that their backyard is about to be a very busy place because now that they have discovered a dinosaur, so many people from the science community are going to be wanting to see this dinosaur. We're starting right up here. Well now, do we have to tell anybody that we've got a dinosaur? Mom said. I don't see why it's anybody's business but our own. Dr. Zimmer smiled and shook his head. They'd find out anyway, Miss Twitchell, whether we told them or not. And besides, I owe it to my colleagues to tell them about anything I discover. I expect them to do the same for me. We scientists don't like to keep secrets from each other. We're just not made that way. We could send it away to a museum or a zoo, Cynthia said. Then all those crowds of people could hang around the museum and they wouldn't bother us at all. Dr. Zimmer looked around at me. How about it, Nate? Would you let your dinosaur go to a museum? I could take him to the National Museum in Washington where I work. I would promise to take the very best care of him. But I wouldn't get to see him then, I said. I don't think I'd like that too much. I'm not a scientist, but I'm kind of interested in him too. You don't get a chance to have a dinosaur of your own very often, you know. Well, I can't say I blame you, Nate, Dr. Zimmer said, but I really feel that I have to tell the other scientists about this. What will we do? I tell you what, Pop said. I think Nate's got the right to keep the dinosaur if he went to all that trouble to hatch it out. And I guess the doctor has the responsibility to tell the world that what he knows, so it looks as if Dr. Zimmer had better go ahead and send his telegram, and the rest of us will brace ourselves for the shock as best we can. Maybe we can figure out some way to work it out so that we won't be completely swamped. Now let me see, Dr. Zimmer said, rubbing his chin. How would this be? We could make some rules about visiting hours, say from 8 in the morning until supper time or whatever you like, and then let in just a few people at a time to avoid crowding. Then there's the telephone. I don't know what you could do about that. That can be an awful nuisance if it rings all day and night. Oh, Miss Beebe can take care of that, Mom said. She can tell them to wait until morning if they call at night. She's very good at that. And I could answer the phone in the daytime, Cynthia said. I could be a kind of secretary. It would be fun. When the phone rang, I'd pick up the receiver and say, Good morning, this is Mr. Twitchell's residence, and then I'd write down their names and all that. And it would be very good experience for me, wouldn't it, Mom? And I could be the keeper, I said. I would say, Step this way, ladies and gentlemen. Watch out for the petunias there, sir. There is the only living only living dinosaur in the world, and only known living dinosaur, Nate, Dr. Zimmer said. We must be scientific about this, of course. He turned to Cynthia. All right then, young lady, here's your first job. Got a pencil and paper? She grabbed the pencil and pad from the telephone box and sat down again. All set? Dr. Zimmer said, I'd like you to send this wire collect to Alfred Kennedy, United States National Museum, Washington, D.C. He waited while Cynthia wrote this down and then said, Have day-old Triceratops alive. Come quick. Signed, Zimmer. He could see Cynthia was having quite a bit of trouble with Triceratops, so he spelled that out for her. Then he leaned back and chuckled to himself. I wish I could see Kennedy's face when he reads that. Well, I must go back and get dressed. We'll probably have a few hours before things start popping. I'll come back after dinner, Nate, and we'll work up some sort of pen for that animal of yours, and we can give him a little food. Thank you all very much for the breakfast. So there they are, all at the breakfast table, getting ready for what is to come. When he had gone, Mom began bustling around. "Hurry up, Cynthia, and send off that telegram. Then, while you're doing the dishes, I'll straighten up upstairs. Nate, you better go out and milk the goat, and then get washed and put on your good suit. We've only got 3/4 of an hour before church." "Oh, do we have to go to church today, Mom?" I said. "I've got an awful lot to do for that dinosaur before people start coming to look at it. I should think we could skip church just this once when such an important thing has happened. Dr. Zimmer said the scientific world's going to go crazy, didn't he?" "Never mind that," Mom said. "There's no reason to give up going to church just because we've got a dinosaur out back. Get a move on now." All right, that is the end of chapter 5.